Hi, this is Glenn, and I'm reciting a speech I wrote about my ethnic and cultural identity. The first I learned of my ethnic heritage was in fourth grade. My school was having a festival of nations, and my teacher told us to ask our parents what nationalities we were. So I went home and asked my mom, and it turns out I'm predominantly Swiss and Scottish. Now, at first, I didn't really think anything of it, but when I thought about it some more, I became really bothered because I don't identify at all as either of those two. It was kind of like that thing mentioned in class about the Polish girl who didn't feel at home when she went to Poland. Of course, the situation was quite different for me, but I imagine the feeling was similar. Now, I really wanted to identify with my heritage because I felt it made me unique, but the reality was I didn't identify at all outside of skiing and playing golf. I had no idea of the customs, didn't know any of the history, and I was basically completely clueless. I wanted to be able to proudly tell people that I was Swiss and Scottish, but the fact is, I didn't feel like I was either of those. This was hard for me because without a cultural identity, I was just plain. In a country made of immigrants with stories of their homelands, I was just an American. As I came to terms with this disappointment, I began to realize that while I didn't have much of an ethnic identity, I still have my racial identity to be proud of. Now let me tell you, I'm the poster child for whiteness, meaning I pretty much support all white stereotypes. My parents have a stable marriage and provide me with a stable household and are able to give me many opportunities in life. I try hard in school. I am such a fine arts geek that I border on pretentiousness. I dress like a preppy snob. I live in Shorewood. And I play golf for God's sake. How much whiter can you get? My peers won't let me hear the end of it. They say, "You're the whitest kid imaginable. How's life in the Shorehood? Is everyone there racist? Are you racist?" Well, of course I'm racist. And yes, most people in Shorewood are racist too. Not actively racist, but it's people like me who represent the epitome of white privilege. Sure, virtually every white person in America has some white privilege, but within the race of white, there are many subsets and classes. There are gay whites who can't get married in some states and are turned away at job interviews or apartment applications because of their sexuality. The emo whites who don't try at all in school. The rednecks who are basically seen as the scum of society. The disabled whites, etc. But I am a straight, intelligent, able-bodied, decently attractive, upper-class, well-respected try-hard. I could not possibly have a better racial predisposition in this country. Aside from representing white privilege, I also represent someone who has completely conformed to the way my race is supposed to act. I have previously provided examples of the ways in which I conform. I have bought into the racial norms of white people. Part of me feels slightly ashamed for conforming because I feel as though I've allowed society to shape my identity. I have always found it funny how society tells people not to let society shape them. If you conform to your stereotypes, you are letting society shape you, but if you don't conform, society is still shaping you because you're now doing what it told you to do by not conforming. It's a lose-lose situation, but nevertheless, I feel somewhat guilty for being shaped by society's norms for my race. Despite having some negative feelings about my succumbing to society's pressures, I am proud of my racial identity. I know my race has done many things throughout history that I'm not proud of, but I feel blessed to be part of the diverse group of individuals that makes the white race, and I look forward to a time when all races and ethnicities will come together under one identity and one race, the human race. Thank you.